Hello. Uh, Sir, we are going to start now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
First of all, I will introduce you, then you can start, sir. So, dear students, today we have with us Dr. Vinit Kumar Yadav. Dr. Vinit Kumar Yadav is presently working as an assistant professor in the Department of Production Engineering at National Institute of Technology, Trichy. He has completed his MTech in Production Engineering from MNNIT Allahabad and PhD in Production Engineering from IIT Roorkee. His research interests are advanced manufacturing processes, hybrid machining processes, micro machining, electrical discharge machining, and industrial engineering. He has published more than 10 research papers in reputed journals. He is reviewer of many international journals like Journal of Nanoparticle Research, Journal of Cleaner Production, Material Research Express, Engineering Research Express, Advanced Powder Technology, etc. So, with his introduction, I now request Dr. Vinit Kumar Yadav to start his session. Please, sir.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the introduction. Good afternoon to all. And first of all, I would like to thank the organizer and the institute for giving me the opportunity to interact with their fifth semester mechanical students. So I will start. First, I will share my screen. So now, can I share my screen?
Sir, the rights are given to you, sir. You can share your screen.
Okay. Okay, I hope it's fine. Visible to all?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So I will start the lecture on heat transfer. Basically, I will focus on the conduction, the internal heat generation for plain wall and cylinder. And before going to the problem, I will start with this basic. I will start with the need of thermodynamics and heat transfer. Why heat transfer is required? What is the need of heat transfer? And then I will cover the heat conduction, basic equations also I will cover of the heat conduction equations, various forms, and then I will cover the heat generation solid. And as I told you, these two problems I will be going to discuss with steady state heat conduction and plain wall with uniform heat generation and steady state radial heat conduction in cylinder with uniform heat generation. These two problems I will need to solve today. So first I am going to start with the need of heat transfer. So I will start with the example. Suppose this is a coffee. So a hot coffee, how long does it take for this coffee to be cooled down to a certain temperature? Say it is too hot, it is around 80 degrees. But I want it to come down to somewhere around 40 degrees. 20 to 40 degrees centigrade. So, what time is required? So, can we solve this problem with this knowledge of thermodynamics? I think no. Because this thermodynamics is the amount of energy transfer. It gives the quantitative energy, which in terms of heat and work, gives the amount of energy. So, we require this heat transfer to know the rate of heat transfer. So, the rate of heat transfer, we can find out with the help of this heat transfer. So, because to know this quantitatively and qualitatively, how much heat transfer in what time, we need both thermodynamics as well as heat transfer knowledge. We cannot solve this problem only with the help of thermodynamics analysis alone. So we require both thermodynamics as well as heat transfer knowledge to solve this problem. So you can say the thermodynamics deals with the how much heat is transferred and how much work is done. And it also deals with the final state of the system. In between, what is happening, thermodynamics will not tell you what is happening in between. The transformation state you cannot determine with the help of thermodynamics. Whereas heat transfer tells us this how the heat is transferred, with what mode. Like we all know there are three modes of heat transfer: conduction, convection, and radiation. So basically, conduction is nothing but heat flowing through the motionless material that we will discuss in the next slide. And whereas this convection, we can say heat flow through moving fluid. And the radiation, we can say heat flow electromagnetic waves. So there are three modes of heat transfer. So with what mode the heat is transferred, we can determine with the help of thermodynamic problem. If it is a motionless transfer, then we can say it's a conduction problem. And if it is a transfer through a fluid, through a moving fluid, we can say it's a convection. Otherwise, if it is transferred through electromagnetic radiation, then we can say it's a radiation problem. So, and at what rate it is transferred? The rate of energy transfer can also be determined with help of heat transfer. And also, we can also determine the temperature distribution inside the body. And it is very important to know the distribution of temperature inside the body. Where in both the problems, we will also see what is the distribution of temperature inside the heat transfer. We will discuss in these two problems today. And as you can say, these two things are complementary to each other. We cannot solve the heat transfer problem or thermodynamics problem with the knowledge of only one. We need to have a knowledge of both heat transfer as well as the thermodynamics to solve the problem. So for the completely, we should have knowledge of both to solve the problem. So we will discuss some about the history of the heat transfer. So initially, heat is a fluid-like substance, like a calorific. It was assumed, like a calorific theory around 18th century. It was assumed that heat is a fluid-like substance called caloric, and it was known like the caloric is transferred from one body to another, like from hot body to cold body. And the surface is known as contact surface. And this caloric is massless, colorless, orderless, and sexless. Whereas the other theory called kinetic theory, which comes later in 19th century, it says it's in the sense of the molecule, a tiny ball, are in motion, it's possessing the kinetic energy. So you can define the heat with this theory, kinetic theory, that it is the energy associated with the random motion of the atoms and molecules. So these are the two theories as far as the heat is concerned. So now it comes to the conduction. So in today's lecture, in 1 hour, we will consider this conduction only. We will not going to touch the convection and radiation part. So in conduction, we can say the Fourier heat law of transfer. I think you all are aware of this. Q you can calculate with the help of K, T1 minus T2 divided by L. Minus Ka, dt by dx. So here you can see the x and del x towards the direction. So the governing equation, you can say the based on the energy. So energy in minus energy out plus energy generated equal to energy stored. Suppose this is a system. This is our system we are going to analyze. Some energy is coming, rate of energy in, something going out, rate of energy out, and one part of energy, suppose some part is energy generated. So, what is the total energy? Like energy in, coming energy in plus energy generated. And that will be equal to the energy out plus energy stored in the system. So, we can rewrite this equation like energy in minus energy out, rate of energy in minus rate of energy out plus rate of energy generated is equal to stored energy. This much energy we can store per unit time. And the general equation can be rewritten as like del by del x a del t by del x plus del by del y a del t by del y plus del by del x a del t by del x plus energy generation Q dot G equal to rho C del T by del T. It's a derivation of temperature with respect to time. When capital T is the temperature and T is known as the time. So there are some special cases. Like this is the first case for isotropic material. The isotropic material means those materials where possessing same property in all directions. When the material property is independent of the direction, then this equation can be rewritten as del square T over del x square plus del square T over del y square plus del square T over del z square plus Qg by K equal to 1 upon alpha del T by del T. Where alpha is nothing but alpha is a thermal diffusibility. Thermal diffusibility. And it can be given as K divided by OC, where K is the thermal conductivity, rho is your density, and C is the specificity. And this specificity depends on the material and the phase. You can say it depends on the type of material and the phase of the material. And how to define this specificity? It is nothing but it is the amount of heat necessary to change the temperature of 1 kg mass by 1 degree centigrade. We can see heat is nothing but specific heat. The amount of heat required to change the temperature of 1 kg mass by 1 degree. So this and other case we can see. This is your diffusion case where no heat generation is there. This time Qg becomes 0. So it's a transient case where no heat is generated. And the third case is steady state. Steady state means the property is not changing with respect to time. So what happens with del T, the temperature with respect to time, you can say it becomes 0. So it's the first Poisson equation. And this Poisson equation and the last one Laplace equation, these two are first used in that fluid and heat transfer problem. So you can say in that Laplace equation also we are having this So at the steady state, I will let the transient problem and the no heat generation problem. So both the terms Qg equal to 0 and del T by del T also equal to 0. Equal to 0. And in the heat transfer system, there are coordinate systems. Like a Cartesian coordinate. In the Cartesian coordinate, you can give the heat transfer equation x, y, z terms. Whereas in the cylindrical coordinate, you can give this equation in this r, phi, and z. We are not going to discuss in detail. But in our one of the problem, we will going to use Cartesian coordinate for plane wall. For plane wall, we will use this Cartesian coordinate, and for the cylinder, we will use this cylindrical coordinate. Now we come to that heat generation. So how heat is generated in the material? See, there are various means and methods to generate heat in a material. Like, for example, we are taking the first example, like nuclear reactor. In the nuclear reactor, heat is generated in the nuclear reactor system. Heat is generated by the nuclear fusion reactor. By the nuclear fusion, the heat is generated in the nuclear reactor. And other example, you can see like our chemical energy in a process or in a system. There may be a case where some chemical reaction took place, and due to this chemical reaction, some heat is generated. And other case also, like third case, suppose the resistance wire can heat this resistance wire to break the heat in a system while it is a function. So while analyzing the heat transfer problem, these are the cases where we are having that heat generation while the system is performing an intended job. So we need to consider this energy, because it's a huge energy, it's not a small amount of energy, where you cannot neglect this amount. So we need to consider this energy while we are solving any heat transfer problem. Like our first problem, we will first discuss about this steady state heat conduction in a plane wall with uniform heat conduction. So this is our case. Suppose this is the plane wall, and it's a heat generation with here uniform heat generation case, and it is a steady state problem. It's a heat conduction problem for plane wall. So we have four things we can know. This is steady state, as well as conduction takes place, and we are going to analyze the plane wall with uniform heat conduction. So what is given? The uniformly distributed heat source. Second one is the steady state problem. So what is the meaning of steady state? Here del T by the temperature with respect to time, del T over del T equal to 0. And since it is for we are going to analyze for the plane wall, we are considering as a one-dimensional problem. Then what happens? Del square T over del y square, as well as del square T over del z square equal to 0. The second derivative of temperature in y direction as well as in z direction becomes 0. And our thermal conductivity constant. This is given. And when solving this problem, we are going to assume that the length in y direction as well as the length in z direction is far greater than length in x direction. So what happens? Our temperature will be the function of the length in x direction. This is very important. So we are going to find two things. Number one, the temperature distribution, and number two, we are going to find the heat flux at the surface for the designing purpose. So, to solve this problem, and we are having the boundary condition, since the problem is symmetric from the center, so we have a symmetric boundary condition. If we take this symmetric boundary condition, our job will be very easy. See, so we consider in the center our x equal to 0. So what happens if this side and that side, if these two are the symmetry, so at the center, what happens, whether it is a maximum or it is a minimum. So suppose here the temperature, either it follows this or it can follow this. But what happens at the center, it is equal. So slope, we can consider the slope as 0. So by taking this boundary condition, our job will be easy. So we can consider one boundary condition at x equal to 0, where slope of the temperature dt by dx equal to 0, because it should be either maximum or minimum. So due to symmetry, we can consider it is 0. And the second case is at x equal to L, here, if it is here, then at x equal to minus L, it is also here. So now we are going to put this boundary condition and the given data in our general equation. So what is our general equation? In that we can write in this general equation as del square t over del x square plus del square t over del y square plus del square t over del z square plus 2g dot g upon k, like heat generation over thermal conductivity, equal to rho c by k del t by del t. See, so now we can put our boundary condition. So what happens? Our this term becomes 0 since it is a steady state problem. And we are not going to, we are considering that length in y and z direction are far greater than length in x direction. So temperature variation with respect to y and z direction is not a function of their length. So temperature is the only function of x. So now our equations look like this. And if k is constant, we can write this equation as, and instead of del square t over del x square, we can write for k equal to constant, we can write it as d square t over dx square. So qg by k equal to 0. Okay. Now we are going to rearrange the term, and we can make this minus qg by k. And now 1 dx you can put there. Now we will integrate. So after integrating, we will get this equation as dt by dx equal to minus kg by k x plus e1. So we are going to integrate again. Now integrating again, we will get t equal to minus kg by 2k x square, because the integration of x is x square by 2. Plus E1x plus E2. So this is our temperature distribution. Now again we are going to put the boundary condition. So our symmetric boundary condition at x equal to 0, dt by dx equal to 0. Now we will put x equal to 0. So we will get C1 equal to 0. And similarly, we can also calculate by putting the second boundary condition, second and third, we can get T2 equal to Ts. It should be like this. Ts plus Q dot V upon 2K L. So now we will put the constant in that equation. In this equation, we are going to put the value of constant. So we will get like this. T equal to Ts Qg by 2k L square minus x square. So central line temperature T naught you can find. The central line temperature T naught you can determine by putting the x equal to 0. In this equation, if you put x equal to 0, it simply becomes T naught equal to Ts plus Qg by 2k into L square. This term will be 0. Now we can rearrange the term in this equation. T minus equation suppose this is 1 and this is 2. So once we can subtract 1 minus 2, you can get this minus Qg by 2k into x square. L square will cancel out. And from the second equation, we are going to get Ts minus T naught equal to minus Qg by 2k into L square. So now we can divide this and we will get this distribution. T minus T naught divided by Ts minus T naught equal to x square upon L square. X over L whole. So now we are going to solve the second problem. Our second problem is the study state radial heat conduction in cylinder with uniform heat conduction. So here also we are having something given like steady state number 1 is a radial heat conduction in cylinder with uniform heat conduction. So we can say these are the data given. The heat source are uniformly distributed, it's uniform heat generation, and our thermal conductivity is constant, and cylinder is sufficiently long that the temperature may be considered as a function of radius only. Like we can say the length is far greater than the radius. So our temperature is only a function of radius. So if it is a steady state case, then del T over del T equal to 0, and in other direction, apart from this radius, in other direction, the second derivative of temperature becomes 0. Then again we are going to find the temperature distribution as well as the heat flux at the surface. Because it is required for the designing process. So this is your cylinder where we are going to analyze this phase. You can see this phase. In the center, we are considering R equal to 0 for center. So it's like this. This side is also on and this side is also on. And the surface, the temperature is here. And the maximum value of R is capital R. So again we are having a symmetrical boundary condition at the center at R equal to 0. So we either maximum or minimum. So we can say the dt over dr equal to 0. And at R equal to R, T equal to Ts. So now we are going to put the general solution for that cylindrical coordinate. So general equation to make del square T over del R square plus 1 by R del T over del R plus 1 by R square del square T over del phi square plus del square T over del Z square plus Kg by K equal to rho C by K times del T by H. So again it is a steady state problem. So we are going to put the boundary condition. Since it is a steady state problem, so this term becomes 0. And the temperature is not a function of these two terms. So these two terms will also become 0. So now we will get our equation like this. Del square T over del R square plus 1 by R del T over del R plus Kg by K equal to 0. If K is constant, we can convert this del as a d. So d square t over dx square plus 1 by r into del t by del r plus 2g by a. Because initially we are considering the small volume. See, at the same time you can evaluate this heat coming from heat out. See, the heat generator into this volume pi L square into L, heat generation per unit volume into the volume equal to the temperature, you can say convection. Through convection it is this value HA delta T. You can write like this: Ug per unit volume into volume equal to, due to convection we can write HA delta T. So it is H into surface area is 2 pi r into delta T Ts. Ts minus, so we not Ts, it is Ts minus T. And it's not T infinity, the environmental temperature. See. Then we can find that Ts equal to T infinite plus Qg into R divided by 4x from this balance. But we are interested in the distribution. So we will find the distribution by rearranging the del square T over del x square plus 1 by r del t by del r plus 2g by k equal to 0. Now we are going to rearrange and then integrate. So after integration we will get after first integration we will get r into dt by dr equal to minus qg by k into r square plus c1. Now we are going to integrate again. Before integration I will divide it into r because we will create unnecessary problem there. So now we directly want c. Otherwise this is a two term like u and v. So it will create problem in integrating. So first divided by r. Now the constant is at one side. Now you can write this temperature distribution as minus qg by 4k into r square plus c1 ln r plus c2. Similarly, by putting the boundary condition, the symmetric boundary condition, at r equal to 0, dt by dr equal to 0, number 1. And number 2, at r equal to capital R, on the surface, the temperature is at Ts, surface temperature. So now, by putting this boundary condition, we can calculate this C1 and C2. And after putting this C1 and C2 in the equations, C1 and C2, once you put this C1 and C2 in this equation, we will get T. T equal to minus Qg by 4k into r square plus Ts plus Qg by 4k into r square. Because C1 becomes 0. Only left with C2. By rearranging the terms, we will get T equal to Ts plus Qg by 4k into r square minus r. Again, central line temperature can be find out by putting the value r equal to 0. So central line temperature we can calculate by putting r equal to 0. And now again rearranging, we can find after rearranging the term, we can find the distribution. Again, T minus T naught divided by Ts minus T naught equal to r square over r. That is r by r over whole. So now I'm concluding that for that BTech student. Like this is okay. I solved two problems. That is okay. But we can make this subject more interesting. And in your career as well, do hard work as you can, because without hard work you will not going to succeed. The hard work will make you the successful person, as our Dr. Kalam said. And other things I can say, everyone is complaining like so many difficulty of life. If I will get this college, then what happened? I'm having some financial problem and that problem, this problem. You can see this one, second of it. So, however difficult life may seem, there is always something you can do and succeed. what is it. And other thing also I can say, decide your career accordingly. Don't try to do those unnecessary things where you are not interested. Try to find one thing which is interesting to you and try to explore that thing. That will make you feel better. Like you can say everybody is a genius, but if you judge a thing by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life becoming a believing that thief is a stupid. So that's why what I'm saying, like decide one area where you can explore, where you can perform well, where you can explore your ability. So decide one thing and go ahead. No one will stop you to become success. So that's it for today. These are our references. This comes out of Sanjal and Coleman I use. And thank you. And if you have any doubt, you can ask right now. If you have any doubt later, you can also write a mail to this email ID. Okay, sir, if you have any students or any queries, you can ask.
Okay, sir. If you have any doubts, then you can raise your hand or you can type your query in chat. I will unmute you. Then sir will take your queries. So I am waiting for your queries. If you have any doubts, then you can raise your hand. Sir, how is the situation there?
Now it's fine.
Okay.
Things are fine.
Okay. The classes are started.
Classes we have started. Now what we did is like we restrict our movement outside. Inside the campus, everything is okay.
Okay. So the classes are in online mode.
In online mode, like last semester.
Okay. Sir, how the lab sessions are arranged?
In the last semester, we have arranged some labs in online mode. And then those labs we are not possible online. They are kept on hold.
Okay.
So this semester we are trying to finish all the labs because students are like complaining like if it is 3 or 4 additional labs are available next year. So we can finish in this semester only. So we are starting like that.
Okay. We also conducted few lab courses in online mode in last semester. Few labs which are not possible in online mode that we kept hold, and then in this semester we are expecting that from 1st February, the government will allow the students in campus. So we will start then the lab sessions in campus.
So if there is no doubt, I think no one is having doubt. We can ask later also. You can write a mail, I will respond.
Okay, sir. I think there are no queries from student side. So we will, I think, stop here. So finally, I would like to thank you very much, sir. Despite of your busy schedule, you have given us time for this guest lecture. Within very short notice, you were available for us. I hope in future also this corporation from your side will be the same. So okay, sir. We can now end this lecture.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, one final request. Can you start your video, sir, so that we can take some photographs?
Okay.
I request all the students to start their video. Okay. Sir, how to change the Just a minute, sir. So I request few students, if you are able to start your video, then you can start. We will take few photographs. Training session, yeah. My video is not there, sir. Have you? Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you very much. We are now going to stop this lecture. Am I audible, sir? Hello? मेरा आवाज जा रहा है? Hello, sir. Vinit Kumar, sir. Your voice is, you are not audible, sir.
Hello? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Now we are going to end this lecture.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.